we have to do a name that also because we did have members.
I know. It's true.
I just want to make sure that we give him,
Oh, you know what I thought of? The Argus knots. Like the Argonaut, but then also not like NOT because he's not alive anymore.
Yeah, I like it. The Argus.
It's a little bit of a head scratcher.
I'm not your target demographic, so I'll stop weighing in because I hate puns.
I know,
and I
bless
don't
your heart.
like your dad jokes thing. So
I don't write that shit. I just do the job.
But what a
hey man, I just work here.
I just say the words that Casey sends me.
Those likes that I give you, those are pity likes.
Shut the fuck up, Jesse.
And you can feel when it's a pity like.
Now I'm just gonna picture your face every time I say one of those things. You're like, you're gonna
I'm a
hate
dad.
me so much.
What about
I
don't know, you guys.
TPK. TPK.
Oh, we are.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm debating between. I really wanted to do the greasers, but it just the imagery is just like us in like leather jackets.
Oh yeah, grease lightning.
I mean, if we did un deux trois fuck, that could be like our chant too.
True. Yeah.
About that is that Argus could have been the fuck. It's like
yes,
yes,
ooh, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a name for our merry bands.
Okay.
Keep this going because I gotta mute and blow my nose before I do my intro. So this is great stuff. Just keep it going.
No bad ideas.
How about the chain gang? No bad ideas, right?
Because we all end up in prison at some point.
We're going to tell you of my horribly embarrassing D&D group name that I named us when I was very drunk. I'm not doing it. I'll tell you after stream.
Oh,
okay. You can't let me name things.
Come on, are you going to tell us in all of our watching public?
No.
Oh, there is a Florb emote. Look at that. Oh my god. That's fabulous.
Remember
okay.
Florb.
Let's get this show on the road, my little friends. This is an exciting time. Hello, everyone. Hello. It's the season finale. It's the finale episode. Episode 10 of 10. This is it. So hold on to your hats. I'm excited. You're obviously excited, and I understand. Welcome to the In Crowd. I'm your DM, Jesse Keeter. First off, I got to give a couple shout outs here. Going to go with Gamer Shark first for that tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. Also got to say thank you to Who Is Kenzo Lee, aka Argus Duskwell, RIP, for that sub. Thank you. Also check out the Florb emote. That thing's pretty great. Is that the slug? Who is Florb?
Florb was our bat bro, their ice bat.
Oh yeah,
our little batty boy.
You're silent. Was he the silent one?
No, he was the first one. He was the ringleader.
Okay.
Our neighbors from the north.
Yes, that's right. And I got a bits shout out coming at you right now for Gamer Shark. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. We're gonna play some D&D 5e tonight. All of the previous episodes and recaps are linked below, along with all of our social media, including our spicy TikTok.
Why don't you talk about how much you love the TikTok?
A pity comment to Lisa Coronado there. But there's no time for any of this. We've already wasted too much. Fuck, we got one more shout out for Bits because they are just raining on us. Puck, thank you so much.
Oh, Puck.
Okay, let's get started. It's the finale. Last episode, the group survived their journey through the Duskwell, caught up to the wizard Eston, who is trying to reanimate a lich, but the group has just discovered there are not one, but 3 Estons they must face in the final showdown. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's roll.
Stay alive.
3 Estons bar the 3 entrances. If you'll remember, you're in an icy cave. There is a frozen waterfall at the back where the original Eston was kind of doing some stuff. You're not sure what, but it looked like some freaky stuff. As you stand there looking at these 3 Estons, there's a moment passes. A pretty typical cool movie showdown moment. Couple smash cuts on each of your faces with diagonal transitions. Eyes squint. Sweat drips. Magic crackles. The 3 Estons all share the same expressions of wild-eyed fear mixed with the elation of victory. The fountain gently rains water, and an icicle falls from the ceiling, like a gong sounding off at the start of a race. As one, the Estons begin chanting dark words, and power lights up in their hands. It's all or nothing. The fight is on.
All right.
Everyone make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, damn.
Right. 23.
Oof.
Oh.
9.
Oh, right.
10.
Okay. Spell save.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Not great.
So, Triss, you will be taking half damage. Everyone else will be taking full damage. As the 3 Estons combine their power to cast Skull Storm.
But with the 23.
Yeah, you take half damage.
Oh god.
This is going to be for 7 damage. So, Triss, you will take 3.
Awesome.
That just pissed me off more.
Wow.
What are you down to, Naomi?
2.
Wow!
Uh-huh.
Protect the Bard. Finale episode for a reason. Audience. So what you can see is that these Estons have coordinated a spell, and they've just released what is a fountain of green skulls. They are not the Lich's skull. They seem to be necromantic projections of that skull. They swirl up into a twisting vortex above you, and then skulls just start cascading down and smacking into you, exploding in green fire as they hit. Triss, you manage to roll out of the way, but you still get pelted by a couple of them. Iratren and Naomi, you are just assaulted with these skulls. But the effort seems to have slowed the trio down, as they were expecting to kind of ult you to death and are quite surprised that none of you died. We're going to be going off of last week's initiative, which brings us to Triss at a 22. Iratran, I don't remember yours, but I remember you tanking it, so you're going to be going last.
Brutal.
Because I got Naomi's written down. Naomi rolled a 12, so whatever Iratran rolled was below that, and he's got a plus like 70 on initiative rolls.
I got +5, but I don't remember. Did I crit fail that one? Or did I
maybe
badly?
Oh yeah, you did. That's why everybody cast the ult.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The fire dice turned on you.
Okay. Triss, it is your turn.
I look around. Is there anywhere to hide?
Yeah, you could find places to hide in this cavern. What seems to be happening is the ice is slowly starting to crack and melt, but there's plenty of stalactites and mites and just several other layers of ice that you could easily find some place behind.
Well, I would like to use cunning action to hide.
Okay, roll stealth.
Oh, 10.
Hold for just a moment.
He said ominously.
I'm gonna not give it to him automatically. His passive perception is 13, but they did just seem to have exerted a lot of energy for. Yeah, you are hidden.
All right.
You take advantage of the fact that they are now wheeling from launching this massive spell into the air.
Right. Then I would like to shoot him with my short bow at advantage with sneak.
Please do. Roll to attack. Oh, yeah, that's right. I just remembered something.
A 16.
That will do it. None of these Estins are wearing any armor. They are all wearing black robes that are made of cloth.
Hold on. Sorry, hold on. 10.
Okay.
I added it.
Okay. So you got 10?
I got 10.
Okay. If you recall, when you first walked into the room, I believe it was Iratran who fired a bow at one of these Estins. That same Estin catches Triss's arrow in his chest and goes, "Son of a bitch!" and flies backwards, flipping over one of the ice walls and disappearing from sight. One of the others turns, startled, and makes eye contact, but the third seems to be preparing another spell.
Right.
Naomi.
Okay. I'm warming up the color spray. Yo, I'm gonna blind this guy and just ruin his day.
Okay.
Let's go.
You've got one preparing a spell and one focused on his fallen comrade.
The spell casting one.
Alrighty.
Please and thank you. Do I need to roll it or?
Oh no, I guess color spray just works, right?
Yeah.
It's such a dirty little gnomish play.
I know, it's the pocket sand of spells.
Yeah, he's just blinded. You launch a spray of color at him, and he starts to swat at the air and go backwards. I got a quick shout out for some bits, though. Hot wife, thank you very much.
The bits.
The bits. All right, so we've now got a blinded Estin, which brings us to Iratran.
Yay! All right, well, the one who's looking at his fallen friend, I'm going to go ahead and hack him up a little bit.
Okay. Roll to attack.
Scimitar style. Okay, that was an 8, which was technically...
He rolls out of the way closer to the fallen Estin, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay. Then short sword. Although it was a 1 plus my modifier.
You crit failed on that attack?
I crit failed on that attack. I should have.
Because of all the moisture in the air, when you swing, your scimitar flies out of your hand and goes clattering across the ice.
Who needs a scimitar? I got my short sword. All right, we're gonna go with a nice little stabby stab with the short sword. That's like the 3rd time my scimitar has flown out of my hands. 11, jeez. No dice.
11 is gonna do it.
Yes!
Like I said, he is not wearing any armor.
Well, he's about to feel a little stabby stab with... Jesus, 6 damage.
Okay. You slash him good. It actually cuts his robes open and a spray of blood goes across the ice.
Nice.
And he is reeling from the blow. It is now the Estin's turn.
Wait, quick question. Sorry, real quick question. How close is he to the edge of where that other one fell?
It's all within one movement of everybody. They were about 30 feet away from you. So
Okay.
he's just like 15 feet away.
Okay, cool.
Okay, we're gonna go with the blinded Estin first. He is blinded and decides not to let that fuck with him. So everybody is going to need to roll a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw.
Do I just hit Wisdom saving throw on my sheet, correct? Yeah.
Indeed, ma'am.
10.
18, finally.
16.
Okay. Naomi and Iratran, this does not apply to you. Triss, have you taken any damage?
Yes, I only have 9 hit points left.
Okay.
I'm also hiding.
Must be nice.
Triss,
9
you
hit
hear
points.
a deafening tolling of a bell that just echoes through the chamber. Naomi and Iratran, you don't hear this, but you do notice that the cracks in the walls accelerate and several of the icicles from the roof crash down into the floor. Triss, you take 4 psychic damage, or I guess maybe it's necrotic damage. as the bell rings through your head and you start to feel nauseous. The other Eston is going to try to get away from Iratran. Iratran, if you would like, you may take an opportunity attack.
Absolutely.
Swing it.
With my short sword, that's all I got. 20.
That will hit. Roll damage.
I'm going to kill him.
Castrate him.
7.
You slash him in the back as he turns and dives out of the way, and you're pretty sure you felt spine in that blow. Oof. When he lands on the ground, his legs are not moving, but he does manage to army crawl the rest of the way and reach out a hand, and he casts a spell on the other Eston, who was thrown backwards with some arrows sticking out of his chest. And that is all that you see happen. The other Eston does not get up, but he, the one who just made the attack, or who just got attacked, did cast a spell. It was a touch spell, and you can see as soon as he put his hand on the body, Iratran, there was a bit of light.
Okay. Is he dying, or is he still sort of like crawling around casting light on other dead guys?
He is mechanically still alive, but he does not look very good.
All right, gotta finish him off. All right.
That is their turn. Triss.
Is the Lich anywhere?
Would you like to make a perception check? If
yes.
you decide to roll, you will not get an attack. You would be using your action to look around the cavern.
But I could still take my bonus action to hide. I'm already hiding, I lied.
No, as soon as you attack, you are not.
Okay, yes, I would like to.
Sure, roll perception.
Never worked very well for me.
On perception.
11.
You do not see the Lich, but while you are looking around, you can see that in the back of this cavern, in the waterfall where Eston was doing his business, there seems to be a figure. It is not moving.
I would like to dash to it.
Okay. You can use your movement and then use your bonus action to dash. When you get over there, you can see that the Lich's body... let me just check my notes here. Yeah, you can see that the Lich's body is in the ice, and that the ice around it is beginning to melt to free it from what must have been an icy prison. And the skull is attempting to reattach to the spine.
Within the ice?
Yes.
All right.
Gross.
It looks as though...
Oh, nope, lied. I didn't.
What?
Nothing. I'm just going to sit on this information, and I'm not going to share it loudly.
Okay.
I'm not doing that.
Okay. Naomi.
Yes. Okay. So, one Eston is like down, and possibly paralyzed, and like casting a spell on a second Eston, and the third Eston is the one that was blinded.
Yes.
Okay, and he's the one that cast the bong spell.
Yes.
Okay. Great. I'm just gonna try and. Is he still blinded?
Let me check.
Okay.
Yes, it will last to the end of your turn.
Okay, super. I'm gonna try and just boomerang him right in the jugular.
Okay, you get a roll with advantage because he's blind.
Okay, here we go. Christ almighty.
Oh,
that's a natural 20.
All right, you will roll
so
double your damage dice.
Hell yeah. So wait, that's a 25 then. Okay. What's my damage dice? She wondered to herself. D4 plus. Okay, so
you'll roll the D4 twice and then just add your bonus once.
Got it. Okay, 5, so 8 damage.
You boomerang him right in the jugular, and he starts going and trying to keep his feet. And he's kind of like slipping on the ice. He does not look good. It looks like you may have crushed his windpipe, and so he's starting to squeak and wheeze as he's doing that. I'm going to give a quick shout out for some bits. Woo! Puck and Gamer Shark, thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
And
Ooh.
Steph.
So much love.
Iratran, it is your turn.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pin that guy to the ice, who's the second Eston who's trying to crawl away.
Sure.
I'm gonna
Roll
just pin him to the ice. Ooh, I don't feel good about that. Oh, 13.
That'll do it.
Nice.
Actually, roll once more. Because he is prone, you get to roll with advantage. You did hit. This is just to see if you crit.
25. It was really close. It was 18.
Okay, roll your damage.
Next time. 10.
You pin him to the ice, and he stops moving. And a pool of blood starts to spread at your feet.
That felt good.
Which brings us around to the final Eston. He takes his hands off of his throat, no longer blind, and says,
One more time, I couldn't hear you there.
we got some bits, Merkworky, and a hype train coming in. Get on the hype train, y'all. What is Eston gonna do? He's not feeling good. His two buddies are dead. He's going to lunge at Naomi, squeaking and breathing all the while. And he's going to reach out a hand, which rhymes over with frost as he reaches through the air. And you can feel the room get colder as he reaches for you, Naomi. This is going to be an attack roll.
Nope. No, thank you.
Not great, actually. Plus 6 is going to be 12 to hit.
The what? Oh, sorry.
Oh, your AC
and
is
then what
14.
happens? 14.
He stumbles forward and misses you, Naomi, and you feel his hand brush by your face, and your skin gets very cold. But you manage to dodge out of the way, and he goes, "Shit!" Which brings us to Triss. We got some bits. Triss, sorry to interrupt. Ivan, Puck, Gamer Shark, you are killing it tonight. Merkworky, hot wife.
Damn.
Thank you so much for the bits, y'all. And Astrid.
So many bits.
What are you gonna do, Triss?
I would like to hack at the skull of the lich so I could run off with it so it can't reform its body.
Interesting. Okay, the way that I see this happening is it looks as though the skull. We also got a new sub. Puck
Hell
just
yeah.
gifted 10 subs. Damn!
Ooh.
The skull looks like it is in the ice, moving down towards the rest of the body, as though it is sinking in through the top and melting the ice as it goes. So you will need to spend a turn freeing it, in a sense.
Right, with my
shit.
rapier.
Yeah, my computer just launched Apple Music. I don't even have Apple Music. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, yeah, so you can attack the ice to you'd basically be like chipping away. I got subs and bits coming at you. They're loving whatever you're doing. You're killing a fan fucking favorite right now. Keen. Just gifted 5 tier subs.
Oh.
Kenzo and Gamer Shark for bits. Thank you so much. You guys, you're spoiling us. You're
Level
spoiling
5
us.
hype train, holy shit.
A level 5 hype train? Woo! I need a drink.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Roll to attack the ice. It is a low AC, but you will have to deal enough damage to free the skull. The waterfall, what's happening is the waterfall is beginning to melt and crack very slowly. Got more subs and bits. Merc Worky, 10 tier 1 subs. And we completed the level 5 hype train. So thank you guys.
Wow. Holy crap.
Yeah, so the waterfall is beginning to very slowly melt and crack, just like this entire cavern. But the waterfall itself, you can't do any magic, can you, Triss?
No, but can I sneak? It's not like it's got eyeballs to see me.
Technically, no, you can't, because it's not a living creature. Yes, I'm sorry.
Surprise,
I'm sorry.
guys.
The reason I was going to ask if you could have magic is I was going to let you roll Arcana. It seems to be like the rest of the cavern has just been hit with a very, very powerful freeze, while the waterfall itself is smelting at a decelerated rate, as though it in particular has been protected in some way. So the skull is actually behind a sheet of ice, sinking down as if somebody dropped a flaming thing on the top of the waterfall and it's been burning its way, coring its way down. So you need to get to the skull in order to free it.
Right. Okay. So to hit, I rolled a 10. Is that going to do it? You said it had a low
It will.
AC.
I believe from most inanimate objects, it's an AC like 10 because you can't miss. So roll some damage.
Okay, and I don't get sneak balls. A 10 damage.
Okay. That is going to free the skull. You managed to just carve into this thing with your rapier. It's a bit flimsy for this work, but you managed to do it because the waterfall is melting. And you free enough of the skull to be able to see it. And as soon as you do, it says, "Man, that necromancer hasn't done anything right."
Oi.
I'm in the middle of something. Triss, you technically have movement left. Is there anything you would like to do?
Yeah, I would like to grab the skull
Excellent.
and stuff
You
it
grab
in
the
my
skull.
backpack.
Talk to me about your gear.
My gear? You mean, like what?
What
Well,
are
I've
you
got-
wearing, specifically on your hands?
Oh, riding gloves.
What do those look like?
They're cream, unfortunately, and they're embroidered with violets.
And do they cover all your fingers, or are they a fingerless glove type of thing?
No, they come to about here.
But what about your finger situation?
Oh, they're covered.
Okay. Then you grab the skull, and he says, "Ha ha ha! Oh, shit! She's wearing gloves!"
Well, that's the thing.
And you can see that the skull ignites, and it actually, the flames do not burn like regular flames, but you can feel an intense, it's not even like heat. It's like your hands are cramping and crunching in these flames. But you do have a hold on it. If you'd like to stuff it into your bag, you're welcome to.
Look, guys, I'm going to take this skull and put it in my backpack. Can someone maybe help me out a little bit? Like.
Okay, I go over and I open the bag more to adjust it, like keeping it nice and steady for her to lower it.
Yeah, as you pass the other Eston, he actually takes an opportunity attack.
Oh.
With the one that's pinned on the one with
No. Where you are, you would have to pass him to get to the waterfall.
the arrow guy or the pins guy?
The third guy, the alive
Actually,
guy.
before
right?
you go, Iratran, we're actually going to let Naomi go. We're going to stick an initiative just because there are still combatants. So it's going to be Naomi's turn before you can cross Iratran.
Okay. Thought I really-
Naomi, there is still one Eston up. He
Okay.
is between you and the waterfall. Iratran is a little bit back farther than you are, but this Eston seems to be pissed off after missing his last attack.
Okay, and he's on the ground. He's prone.
No, he just missed you, but he has kept his feet.
Okay. Great. Let's blind him again.
Okay.
You don't get no eyeballs, not today.
Is
Not
that
in
a
my
cantrip?
house. No, it's a level 1 spell.
Okay. Track those spell slots, young lady.
Look.
He is blinded, and he says, "It's a one-trick pony over here with this bard. How did you play the same song every night?"
Give the people what they want. Sometimes
like
you just
to
gotta play
move?
Freebird. After I blind him, yes, I think I want to like try and although wait, okay, so Irritran hasn't gotten to Triss yet. They're still like on either side of things. I think I'm just
You're
gonna try
in between them. You and
Okay.
this Eston are in between them.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll take the shot if I can to try and hamstring him.
You won't be able to because casting color
Oh.
spray is an action.
Got it. Okay. In that case, yeah, screw it. I'm just gonna run over to Triss and help out with this backpack situation.
Then Eston will use his reaction to try and hit you, but because he's blind, he will be making an opportunity attack at disadvantage.
Oh god.
He just rolled a crit. Unfortunately, I will be rolling again because he is at disadvantage. So you've denied him a crit.
Oh god.
Oh.
This one is going to be for... I think this will probably do it. This one's going to be for 19. He has a +6 on spell attacks. And because of his little feet, he can use a touch spell for an oppo. Oh, that's right. I get to roll damage now. He has just hit you with chill touch. He whips around with his second hand, and you see that frost climb down towards his wrist again as he just straight up palms you in the chest.
Uh-oh.
What am I rolling? I've never hit anybody with this spell before. It's a D8. And I believe you only have 2 health.
That's correct.
How do you get to a D&D player to go out with you?
Yes.
He hits you for 12 damage. Sorry, 9 damage. You do not take negative points, so you simply drop to 0 as
Okay.
Eston palms you and spreads frost across your chest, and you fall back unconscious. And he says, "Did I get you? Hello? Did I get you?"
Oh no.
Naomi, you are on the ground.
Uh-huh.
Iritran, it is your turn.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna pull out my short sword from the pings guy.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go. I didn't want to kill everybody, but I'm gonna go kill this other Eston who hit you, Naomi. So I'm coming after him.
Okay. You get a roll with advantage because he is still blind.
Dope, because that one was sucked. It was a 12. That's
That will do it. So roll to see if you crit. They're crispy little wizards, you know? They don't got armor class.
this is just a regular 20. Not a crit, but that with
Okay.
my modifier.
Roll damage.
Come on. 6.
You plunge your short sword into his chest. And
got
he
it.
goes down to a knee and says, and he falls over backwards dead.
Oh.
So,
Enough of him.
I'm going to drop you guys out of initiative, but I'm going to ask you to hold your desires for just a moment. Triss,
Yes.
you are standing next to this waterfall. The skeletal body of the lich is still embedded in it, but you are holding the skull up and have just said to your friends, what exactly did you say?
So can I get a little help with my bag? I'd like to put it in the bag and get it out of my hands. Anyone?
Yeah, I think that at this moment, because of Triss's actions, some things will be different, but we are going to run through some of these notes here because Triss decided to be sneaky rogue.
She was just trying to get ahead.
The green flames on the lich flare. Triss, roll.
Oh, Lord.
I feel like this would be a Constitution saving throw. When they flare, you can feel all of the muscles in your hands cramp further. It's though your fingers are starting to curl in on themselves, and your bones are starting to burn. But it's like icy hot, where it's like this hot, cold burn coming from the marrow of your bones. You're going to roll a Constitution saving throw to see if you can keep hold of this lich skull.
It's an 8.
Okay. You cannot help but pull your hands away from the skull. And as you do, it floats back towards the spinal column of the body, which you have carved free. Chills run down your spines, and the air frosts with every breath. A glimmer of green lich light flares into existence, this time around the skeletal body, which is in the ice. And you can see now that you are in a vast cavern that has been illuminated by this green fire. The cavern stretches all around this icy waterfall. There are natural stones and ice crystals radiating with the sick light. And what under different circumstances could be the inside of a massive geode, just shimmering with beauty, instead appears to be twisted and marred. Nightmare shadows and green shards of ice look poison-filled and menacing. Across... we're already at the thing. Yeah, you just see this lich now, and as its green fire is burning, those flames, as they were not hot on Triss's hands, do not seem to be melting the ice any faster. But there does seem to be some conflict between the waterfall and the lich's body as these two... Naomi, I'll give this one, and I guess Iratran too. Both of you may roll Arcana if you'd like, when you notice what's going on here. Oh yeah, sorry, Naomi, that's right, you're fucking dead.
Do I notice anything?
you notice?
Guys, I had the weirdest dream about Arcana while I was knocked out.
We're gonna get to the end of this, but you will need to make a decision soon about how you would like to handle Naomi.
Other things are happening right now.
Iratran, roll Arcana.
3.
Okay, yeah, just looks pretty weird to you, but you're not sure why.
Would you like me to roll it as well?
I'm gonna grab my sword and put my cantrip on it, because green flame seemed like green flame should go on my blade too. I'm just thinking.
Sure.
All
yeah,
right.
that's fine. It goes off. Triss, you may roll Arcana as well. You do not have any innate magical abilities, so the information that I give you will be through that lens.
It's an 8. It's
Okay.
terrible.
You can all tell that something nasty is happening between the waterfall, which seems to be protected somehow, and the green flames of the lich's body.
You know, at this point, everything about this lich, I don't trust. I'm gonna go over and chop its head off. Can I do that with a short sword? Just come up and just...
Yeah, I guess you can.
Just don't touch it unless you've got gloves.
I have sailor's gloves. It's a 13.
Okay, yeah. Roll with advantage, actually, because he's restrained, technically.
Yeah! Murder time! 15, not much better. Oh, it was so close to a crit.
It'll do it. Iratran, as you approach, unspeakable force is radiating from this lich, and it inks your heart with dread for just a moment, but you persevere, perhaps with the thought of Argus laying slain outside or Estin at your feet. The lich is just beginning to say, I'm going to cut half this fucking monologue, Iratran. Thank you so much. You approach the lich with your sword drawn, and it has green flames. As the lich's skull is floating towards the vertebrae, and he's saying, "Be the first to witness my return, and the first to die by my hands. I have returned from thee." Roll damage, Iratran. 8. Okay. Okay. Fuck you, dude. He's I return from thee, and your sword cuts through. Is that with your green flame? Okay. You sever the connection from the Lich, who was doing exactly what you'd been told to capitalize on, which was rejoining when he would be weakest. And you chop his head off in the middle of the sentence, and he says, wait, I wasn't through! And the skull extinguishes and falls down and clatters around on the ice before coming to rest. Yeah, I mean, like, that's it. There are more cracks forming in the waterfall. It is still starting to melt. You can see now that the rest of the cavern is melting very, very quickly, but the waterfall itself is just getting condensation like you would see on the outside of a very cold can of a very tasty beer on a hot day. But that is it. The skull is now the skull is now on the ground saying, wait, seriously, wait, guys, I know we got off. You what?
I'm stabbing it downward with a short sword. I'm so tired of things monologuing. Like,
sure, yeah. Roll to attack at advantage.
Nope. 17.
Roll for damage.
7.
You stab your sword into the skull. It is a precise and mighty blow. And as you put your weight into it, the blade of your short sword shatters all the way up to the hilt. And the shrapnel from the blade scatters across the ground. And he says, I'm an all-powerful lich, you fool.
Oh.
You will need to do something with Naomi. So the skull's just going to kind of, you know, those little things, those little teeth that you can wind up and like let go. It's just kind of doing that around on the ground, insulting you, saying things like, I've been bested by level 2 adventurers. I never thought I'd see the day. But for the most part, you have a moment to yourself. Naomi will need to start making death saving throws unless you do something about this.
We have a healing pack, I believe. So
Sure.
let's use it.
Aye.
Okay. You are just able to do that. You can use your medicine kit, I believe it's called, to stabilize Naomi. She is now stable, so she will not need to make any death saving throws. But she is at 0 health, so she is still unconscious unless you have a way to heal her.
I take out my water skin and give her some water.
She is slightly less thirsty than she was before.
Anyone have any of Argus's berries left?
You guys tell me. You would have been sustaining yourself on good berries and water that Argus was conjuring on your entire trek across the desert. He died less than 24 hours ago. So if you think you would have pocketed some of those sweet, sweet berries, I will give it to you.
Yes, and I reach into the bottom of my bag, and there's one at the very bottom. It looks like a raisin. It's so dried out. I'm like, please, may there still be some good healing juice in this. And then I like open Naomi's mouth and.
Do you also like?
Yes.
Do the
Okay.
throat thing like a cat. Like,
Yes. Naomi, you come to. You still have what feels like frostbite on your chest and neck, but you are now at 1 HP and able to have a turn. The Lich's
Okay.
skull is starting to rattle around a bit more violently, and it has green flames starting to crackle out of its eyes and catch over its scalp. What would you like to do?
Me?
Any of you. You're
Okay.
not an initiative anymore.
I go, did we kill that asshole?
Aye, all 3 of them. Now we have
Oh,
another
good.
asshole.
I wish I'd never let him out of prison.
Technically, who did kill Eston?
I think everybody had a hand on it.
Yeah, I think you got an
Yeah.
arrow. I pinned him, and then he was gonna die from that throat crushing. So I feel
Right.
good about that. I feel pretty good about that. I did lose a short sword. I'm not too thrilled about that.
As you guys are having this conversation, the skull catches fully to flame and begins floating back up into the air and says, I have returned from the darkness beyond. The unspeakable and unthinkable I have made possible. And it's floating back towards the body that is still in ice.
You just won't die.
You could still throw him in your backpack if you'd like to.
All right, let's do.
He's not connected to anything. It's a slow float.
I go, can I, you guys wait, maybe I rummage around in my backpack and I pull out that, the moth cloth, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And like, just, you know, like a frying pan, just toss it on there. It's like,
Okay,
put the fire
yeah.
out.
It snuffs out and you can hear a muffled like, but you are able to stuff it back into Triss's backpack. Leaving this chamber, you walk through the ice tunnels, follow, no. I'm a little, Triss just kind of like did some rogue shit, so I'm just having to compensate just a little bit. Okay, yeah. As you're leaving this chamber, there are heavy drops of water now falling from the ceiling and running down the walls. The temple, this prison of the Lich, is melting. You exit that chamber and come to the room with 3 passageways. Or I guess it would be where the fountain is. Yeah, the water in the fountain is now actually flowing, and it's doing so with more gusto. It was like maybe a gentle sound of rain, but even by the time you get there, it's now this heavy wash. And the water within is cresting near the lip of the container. And through the ripples and rings of all this, there is a scattered reflection of Almi, the sage that you met on your way in. When last you saw her, she had extinguished with her final spell.
She'd melted.
And she says, "Did you do it? Did you manage to stop them?"
Aye.
Sweet.
And I hear the Lich talking in my backpack, and I kind of punch it a little bit.
And she says, "Wait, what is that?"
Nothing.
That's
Nothing?
That's the Lich. Let's be real.
Okay, just for the future, don't hide stuff like liches from helpful magical spirits, young lady.
Well, I didn't know if you were going to get mad and chastise us for.
No,
taking-
but if you are carrying the head of the lich, that means he has not been extinguished.
Why
Have you
would-
no powerful magical weapons to destroy him? Or any vessels in which to contain him?
We put a blanket over him.
Aye, in the backpack. He's well preserved.
Just want to say, great improvisation there. That will be a pretty solid temporary solution, but we are talking about an all-powerful lich here.
Well, how would you destroy him?
We were unable to. That's why we captured him in that waterfall. Those were a combination of high-level spells cast by very powerful sorcerers in order to contain him. Unless you have a precious stone or powerful crystal in which to capture him, the Lich will continue to fight to return to his body and return to power. You must find a powerful vessel in which to capture him if you do not have a worthy weapon to destroy him.
I'd be interested in worthy weapons. Where would we procure one of those?
Any hero of legend perhaps would have been carrying them and entombed with one. Any of the weapons that were used to forge the original fortresses here. Maybe the hammer of a god. Do you have any of those?
Oh, I have one of those in my... No, I don't.
Okay, yeah. We didn't either. That's why we totally had to put him in that waterfall. Very hard to come by.
It seems
So as containment containment goes, if we can find the right thing to put him in, he could just stay there forever and wouldn't be a problem anymore. Is that?
Theoretically, yes. There is the issue of low-level adventurers trying to gain access to certain inns and accidentally releasing him. But besides that, yeah, before you guys came along, hundreds of years went by without any problems.
Okay,
You will
all right.
need to most likely reverse engineer the spell that you used to reactivate him.
Huh. How do you reverse engineer an accident?
I'm just a reflection in a pool of water.
Aren't we all? Well, okay, listen. I might have an idea, you guys, but you cannot let this go outside. This is in the cathedral, okay? I'm really, really, really not supposed to talk about this. So like really keep it under your hats. I'll be in big trouble if this gets out. Okay. Can you just solemnly swear that this stays between us?
I'll take you to the grave, literally.
Okay. Well, hopefully
I
it won't
most
come to
likely
that.
will not be able to retain this presence on your plane for much longer. So once my essence evaporates, your secrets are safe with me.
That works out well. That's actually very convenient. All right. Well, listen. So Iritzoak, right? We all forest full of magical stuff. Probably haven't spent a lot of time there. Is that am I correct to assume that everyone present?
Aye.
Okay, great. So there's a village. There's a village deep in the forest. It's called Tixatera. It's a gnomish village, and not a lot of people go there because honestly, everyone that lives there is like kind of nuts. They have this whole I don't want to use the word cult. That seems pejorative, but let's just say there is an extremely powerful crystal, and everyone who lives in this village is the keeper of this crystal. It's a whole thing. You know, I mean, we all pretend like we don't think they're weird, but they totally are. Anyway, if I could get us into this village, it's possible that maybe we could use the crystal to contain the lich, but I can't emphasize this enough. This is like a gnomes only situation, so I don't know how this is going to go. Can we work on like a disguise situation? Maybe like become shorter. I don't, we can workshop it on the way.
The type of crystal that your gnomish friend speaks of will most likely be powerful enough. The problem is you will need to move quickly. If you are unable to contain the lich's essence before the waterfall in the chamber behind you melts, he will be freed. Body and skull will be able to work together to find one another and rejoin. Because you are leaving this place, you will need a way to keep track of how much time you have left. Atop this fountain is a spike of ice. Break it off now. And as you look up to the top of the fountain, you can see that there is, in fact, a large spike of ice that is growing out of the top of the water.
I break off that spike.
Cool. She says, this is a magical icicle, and it is a shard grown from the same enchanted ice we used to hold the lich. It will melt at a rate which will give you an idea of how much time you have left. But when the icicle is melted, so too will be the waterfall. Keep an eye on the size and shape of this icicle, for it will determine how much time you have left.
Any rough estimates, like, a couple of days or...
Your best bet will be to track how much... I suppose like when it gets... I suppose when it gets like halfway down, you'll be able to do some math.
Touche.
I think that is all I will be able to do to help you. This world is one which I tried to leave in peace, and I hope now that you too will help fix a solution we did not adequately provide.
Yeah, leaving it up to us to fix the past generation's mess up.
And our own, if we're really taking responsibility here. I mean, honestly, that whole thing with the tower, that was on us.
Well, I mean, there could have been signs. I mean, if
That's
you're gonna
true.
have
It was poorly marked.
a mystical lit,
Oh yeah, sure. So it was a pretty just a cakewalk to get there. Stroll in the park, sun shining.
touche.
Yeah, there was a
Or
lot
did
of
you-
existential
you-
dread.
You did have to cross through a haunted swamp and
Yeah.
a secret protected garden and a tower that was full of traps. And
That's it. That's true. That's true.
You know,
That's
nothing.
true. Yeah, good
worth
perspective.
having.
Good perspective.
You know,
just so we're all on the same page,
well, if it's worth having, it's gonna be a problem to get. You know.
You conjure us any horses?
I cannot. In fact, I'm about to evaporate into the soul spectrum of this plane. So I just wanted to say, peace out. And Almi's reflection scatters into
Bye,
the rippling
Almi.
of the
Thank
water.
you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna.
And she disappears.
Ugh.
So what ends up happening is as the ice around you melts and cracks, much like the shortcut you were able to cut down to get here, a passageway does open up for you that will lead to the surface. And once you pass through it, it does close behind you. When you reach the surface, the dry air and shimmering heat is welcome. Your bones thaw, and the heat brings a little invigoration. But within moments, the feeling shifts to sweltering, dry, and perilous.
Oh no.
The ruins around you look the same, and the bodies of the Blood Oath elves remain where you left them. Take note, the speed of travel from your initial crossing of the river on the barge to your arrival here at the Duskwell was largely due to Argus's knowledge of the region, and, more importantly, his ability to create water and those good berries that you just used to save Naomi's life. Iratran, are you still holding the icicle?
I am.
Okay. You can feel the icicle melting bit by bit. It seems to have nothing to do with the heat of the desert.
God.
So it is not being accelerated in any way and seems to be enchanted to maintain the pace of the waterfall below. As you step into the courtyard, you are confronted with Argus's grave. I believe you dug a shallow grave and covered him with stone. I assume I won't assume anything. Do you want to do anything with Argus's body? You're about to leave this place. Will you leave it here, or are you planning to take it with you?
What, like put in a backpack or something? Like,
I don't know. That's pretty fucked up. You're gonna chop him up and put him in a backpack?
it's pretty fucked up trying to strap him to our
We can't leave him here. This is a horrible place.
This is his home.
I think maybe in the interest of time, our best bet is to leave the grave as it is, and if we can find his son back in town on the way out, to give him coordinates, tell him what happened, and let him do his customs as he will.
Yeah, we'll just drop a pin in his iPhone.
And as you guys are talking, you can see that the icicle is melting slowly, but it is a steady drip of water coming off of this thing.
What happens if we drink it?
Try.
All right.
Uh,
I just taste
you,
it.
Sure. You feel great.
Do I heal?
Do you heal? No, I don't think you would. But you do feel hydrated. You came to the solution a bit earlier than I thought you would. The magical icicle, as it melts, will be able to provide you water for your journey. Similar to Lembas bread from Lord of the Rings, a single drop, like Goodberry, will provide you hydration for an entire day.
Goodness.
Well, that's
Um,
handy.
Yeah, this is a wasteland you're about to cross, but because you won't need to worry about water, and you all have a high enough survival roll, I'm not going to make you fight through this. The initial hiccup was going to be water, but you've passed the main check. So I think it is just a even with the water, it is a rough trek, and I think that you do all get lost several times. But you are able to fight through it, and you find yourself on the bank of the river.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
waiting for the.
Oh, the lady that swindled us.
The fairy woman.
Yeah,
That works for
swindle's
scale.
a hard word to use.
Oh, you know, from one sailor to another, it felt a little swindly.
It takes you, I feel like, a full day's passage just to get to the river, and then another half day to get to the barge. She honors her agreement and she is waiting for you. When she sees that there's only 3 of you, whatever joke she was about to make at your expense kind of dies on her lips. And she does come up onto shore and help you load into the boat. It takes another half day to get upriver and back to Erdecoa, where you launched. And by the time you arrive, the icicle is now half the size that it was when you left the caverns. So it has been 2 days, and the icicle is now half gone.
What's the skull doing in my bag?
The entire time, the skull has been yelling shit at you guys.
Come on.
It's kind of gone the spectrum of being insulting and condescending to just making you promises of power, wealth, standing, being able to give you anything that your wildest dreams could imagine.
Sounds like my
and
last
then-
relationship.
Yeah, especially when it flips back to just talking mad shit.
Oh.
But the skull is animated. Wrapped in the moth wing, the flames do not continue to burn, but it is not shutting up. It is in the back of your backpack.
Can I tie it off like with some rope and then put it underwater?
Yeah.
Oh, dope. While we're on the barge, so we don't
Sure.
lose some of that.
So you don't have to listen to it anymore?
Oh, you make
Yeah.
it like a buoy that like flops.
It's just like,
Couldn't hear you down there. One more time.
Ugh.
That's what I thought you said.
but you do arrive in Erdecoa. When you leave the docks and head back up into town, you actually see Hume waiting for you next to his really cool cart in the town square.
It is a really nice cart.
He is waving to you. He looks pensive and not altogether surprised to find only the 3 of you. And he says, "Hello, my new friends. It is so wonderful to see you."
It's nice to see you as well. It was a long, hard fight. Hard fought
Yes,
fight. Yes.
I imagined it was. Very few travel into the wastes of Bassa Mortok and make it back alive.
It is with a heavy heart that I let you know that your father did not make it with us back.
Yes. I actually saw my father last night. He came to me in a dream. And while I was uncertain at first if this was my imaginings or his presence, I can see now that everything he told me was true. He spent a good deal of time singing your praises, speaking not only of your competency in battle and the vengeance which you brought about for him, though he wouldn't necessarily agree on it, but also the love he had for you and the caring you showed to him. I will mourn the death of my father, but I have been able to secure the treaty between the northern and southern elves, which he fought so long for. And I told him that too when I saw him, and he was very pleased.
I'm glad for you. That's a wonderful legacy.
Thank you. The treaty is very shaky, and who knows how long it will hold, but I think it is the first real step we've made towards a lasting peace.
You've done your father very proud.
Thank you.
I would attempt to give coordinates to him for where Argus's grave is. Hume, there were ruins near the Duskwell. Your father lies there. We weren't sure what the proper rites were, but we gave him a burial.
I am sure that my father would have appreciated a moment spent among friends, and that would be proper enough. I will not make any immediate pilgrimage, for my father did find himself in Basamortok and come to terms with his destiny in those wastes, as well as see me through them on my journey here to become the man that I am. And I believe that he would say the vessel of which his soul has escaped is not worth the trip, but perhaps there will be one day in which I will bring a water skin to pour near his grave. Tell me, where are you headed?
Well, we have 2 days to get deep into Iritzoak. We're have you heard of Tixatera? It's it's sort of a niche gnomish thing. I wouldn't blame you if you hadn't heard of it. Anyway, we're going deep into the forest, and we have to make all speed.
At the mention of the Iritzoak forest, Hume's face falls, and he says, I have, of course, heard of Tixatera, but you will not be able to pass through the woods.
How do you mean?
All tribes have gathered. They will not allow any outsiders into the woods. They are extremely protective of this newfound peace, most of which was brought about with an agreement between the two tribes to share the burden of trespassers in their lands. To cross into the woods now would be certain death.
We've no other option.
Unless you know of, like, a hero's sword or a god's hammer or...
Oh, yeah.
We just roll history real quick. I do not know any of those things. I am but a simple elf in a human's land, working towards the peace of my people with a great cart.
It's really nice. It is really nice.
It's got nice wheels.
What is it you seek?
We have to kill the Lich's skull.
Well, we have to trap the Lich's skull.
Whichever comes first.
Yeah. But there's a particular crystal that may be powerful enough to contain this thing, and it's our only option. We have to get there. Surely the gnomish thing, that's going to count for something, right? They wouldn't let me back into the forest. I live there.
Oh shit! If they're not going to let you, they're not going to let us.
They would allow you to pass into the forest, Naomi, but if you brought outsiders, your immunity would be taken away.
Could we hide in a wagon with a bunch of, I don't know, apples or something?
Oh, the old apple wagon trick.
Yes.
Classic.
I will have to refuse. I would not risk my place helping you enter into the woods when it has been made clear to me that now is not the time for outsiders, as I would also caution you not to try, not only because of the danger it represents for your party, but because of what it might do to a very shaky truce that has only recently been put in place.
I open the bag and let him see the lich head. This is what we're dealing
Good
with.
God!
Right. It's terrible. We don't have a choice.
If this head gets back on its body, it's certain doom for us all.
I understand the stakes, but if you succeed in saving the world, you will see that the treaty fails and my people will continue to war. Know you any other place in which you might find what you're seeking? Surely there's other crystals or god hammers or someone who knows how to find them.
How to find them?
Let's to an inn. They'll know how to get there at an inn, right? We'll just ask some people around.
What about that cartographer that made the map?
Yes. Yeah, maybe there's like a heroic graveyard map, and we maybe with God's hammers. Well, okay, we'll check with her.
We could go grave digging. That sounds fun.
Yeah. Okay, great.
You remember how we left off with her, by the way?
Well,
Oh, was that when there was the big fight in the inn?
Yeah, she tried to kill us.
Right.
yeah.
People.
Triss actually stole from her.
Me? Oh, I did.
No, sorry,
No,
Naomi
that was
stole
me.
from her.
Well,
That was
technically,
Naomi.
it was Ferret. It was, I left that one on them,
Oh,
but
yeah, weren't you in disguise?
yeah, it was awesome. Maybe we could make that happen again. I don't know what Ferret's up to these days. But, let's just fly by the seat of our pants and figure it out when we get there. But we gotta go. Freaking icicle.
Okay, yeah, you
smells
want
it.
to go back to Portuak is where the cartographer is. Hume will walk you out of town and he'll actually take you to the stables where they've been taking care of your horses at his request. And your horses look great. They look great.
Well kept.
They were
Little tire
taken care of.
shine, little clear coat.
Wait, is this the horse that said carrots, bitch?
Oh, I think Horse James.
But they were
Horse James
recommended-
stayed at the
they
stable.
were-
I think.
They were recommended by Horse James. Okay,
Ugh.
with the icicle melting, you take to the road. Hume sees you off and bids you farewell and asks that you find time to come and see him again. And he would love to be your escort into the woods at a time in which that might be arranged safely. The road to Portuak is dismal. There's nothing specifically wrong or dangerous. There are no attacks by chaos monsters or brigands. The
Wow.
weather isn't even that bad, but everything just feels heavier. It's like there's a pressure in the air, as though something is coming, though you can't see what. Most of the other travelers who are on the roads are hanging their heads and moving slowly. Their animals seem to be uneasy. There is a full day that passes and then most of a second one.
Oof.
And as you make your way past the split in the road, which you've gone to and from several times, and you know that the other path leads towards the cursed swamp of Haraskarn, you can actually see in the distance there, in the sky, roiling clouds that are burning with flashes of green light, hanging in the air over Haraskarn. It takes almost 2 full days to get to Portuak, and when you arrive, the icicle is as slender as a knitting needle. I will say, over the course of this, you will be able to wrangle a long rest. So everyone may return their HP to full and untap all of their abilities and spell slots.
Oh my good giddy
Thank
god! Thank God.
When
Crawling
you
along with
arrive-
1 HP.
You guys are going for the cartographer?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, the icicle's melting, so I'm just gonna take that as your direction. Finding the cartographer's shop is not difficult. You've been there before, Naomi. But every alley twist, every vagrant trying for your attention, and every stray doorknob underfoot is infuriating beyond description. There's just this pressure in the air. The storm in the distance over Harskarn continues to grow. But finally, you see the simple brass cartographer sign above the door. How do you want to proceed?
Who should talk to her first?
Well, we have a history, but in this case, that may not help us.
Well, our history was pretty bloody. That might
Yeah.
actually help us a little. Let's try and intimidate her.
I've also got money.
Oh, that works.
That'll do it. That's it. Yeah. Okay, great. Let's pool our resources. How much do we got?
I think I had 2 gold last I checked.
Okay.
I have 10 gold.
Okay.
Oh,
I have
no.
15, but I
silver.
feel like 10.
So you
Or
guys
15.
got 27 gold between you.
Okay.
When you walk into the cartographer's cluttered map shop, you recall every surface is covered in scrolls, tomes. Every wall is lined with shelves. There are old relics and like ancient papers tacked to the wall. She is sitting behind the desk with her hands in front of her and says, well, look who it is. I have half a mind to call the guards, but those who return to this shop are most often desperate. So, we'll see how this goes.
I have a question. Do we still have the map through to the garden on us?
That's up to
I
you.
think we do.
We
It's
will.
still in its little scrolly case, right? Okay, so I'm gonna pull that out, approach her desk, and contritely put the map back in front of her and say, as promised, we've returned your wares.
Ah, I see. And what is it you want?
Well, we're not completely sure, but we think you can help us. And honestly, we collectively are in deep trouble if this doesn't work out. So I'm going to say it's also in your interest to help us if you can see your way to doing that. So we have this thing, sort of a boundlessly evil eldritch like creature of darkness situation that either needs to be contained or like mega destroyed, sort of, god hammer, legendary double-handed sword axe kind of thing. And the one that we know of is a little too far away and a little too like world-shatteringly treaty-full to deal with right now. So we need something close and accessible. And if this rings any bells, we would sure appreciate the help.
So you need either a vessel powerful enough to contain an eldritch and cursed soul, or a godly weapon. How much time do you have to spare?
Frankly, not a lot.
No,
She's
we
like
should've had it
going
yesterday.
through some maps that are behind her desk, and she goes, none.
Yeah, correct.
Not a lot. Like, limited. Between 0 and 1.
maybe show her the ice pick thing.
Yeah, she takes a look at the icicle and she says, okay. I've seen something like this made out of mud before, but never ice. Interesting. Now, there are no god weapons within even several days' ride of Portuak. Most of my maps here deal with other islands and other continents. Those weapons are entombed in the more wilder places of Berdea, so I don't know that you'll be able to get one of them in time. But I do happen to know the location of a rather powerful vessel that's just a stone's throw away. I wouldn't even need a map to tell you where it is.
Oh, that sounds perfect. It's here. It's in town.
Uh-oh.
I've said as much as I'll say
Oh,
before you've proven to me that this information is worth my time. Now, I will say this. Not a day goes by that a band of adventurers knocks down my door and claims they're on a quest to save the world. And if I only give up these precious and expensive items, which are my livelihood, they'll be able to save me and my shop and the world at large. Not a day goes by without being pestered by you adventuring types. So I'll bet on capitalism over adventuring in this case and say I'll probably be okay. Now, I do know what that map you stole from me led to. So, in exchange for this Silver Shade Nightingale, I will give you the information you seek.
Can we show it to the inn and then give it to you?
Well, then you'd get admittance to the Last Oak Inn, and I wouldn't.
Oh, that's right. Could we be your +1?
I don't think that's how it works.
well, okay, quick group huddle. Guys, look, if we pull off this whole lich marble like situation, the crystal, then maybe that would be, I don't know, an entrance, like an exchange entrance exam kind of thing. Don't you think? That
True.
seems like on the level of, that's maybe even better than the Silver Shade Nightingale thing.
How will
What
we
do you
have
think?
proof?
Well, if there's like the crystal and
With the
it's
lich in it?
full of lich, and we just bring it, that's pretty
Oh.
good, right?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Just a
It's
quick
mobile.
item audit. Who's carrying the Silver Shade Nightingale?
Yeah, it dissolves.
Yeah, we like scooped it up.
I remember the fate of the Silver Shade Nightingale. I was wondering if you guys did.
I did, but I was gonna fake it.
It's in dust form, but we have it.
Okay.
It's in like a little pouch.
All right.
I mean, I think we just have to take the chance.
All right. Let's do it. Should we do the chant?
Aye.
Yeah. Yes, we should. Hands in.
All right. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Deux, trois, fuck.
Okay. So you're going to present this
you've
ash
got
to
yourself
the
a
cartographer?
deal.
She
Yeah,
says,
it's kind of an 8-ball form, but we promise it's the flower. It really is.
what the fuck is this?
Well, it sort of disintegrated when it was a big fuck up actually. But we scooped it, so that's it. And maybe you can find someone that could reanimate it.
Aye.
She takes the pouch from you and gets a mirror and a credit card. I'm just kidding. She does get out a set of what looks like alchemist tools. There's a small tray, a leather wallet, which she unfolds, and then several different kinds of dye. And she does pour the ashes out onto this tray and then scoop a very small amount over to the side. And then she uses those dyes and some of her tools to get a magical reaction out of just a fraction of the powder. And she says, well, whatever it is incredibly powerful. So, all right. I'll tell you what you need to know in exchange for this pile of
Silver Shade Nightingale.
Yes, supposedly. Yes. She scoops it back up into the pouch, scoots her stuff to the side, and she says, she says, now, what you need. A very powerful magical vessel, a large crystal with enough oomph to contain the cursed soul of a lich, you can find right here in Portuac, inside the Last Oak Inn. Now get the fuck out of my shop.
Unbelievable.
Really?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You are unbelievable. Yeah, no kidding. You leaned on capitalism. Freaking rotted, two-faced. Ugh!
That was really well played.
Don't compliment her. It'll encourage her.
Doesn't mean I like it or I think she's particularly great, but I mean, it was kind of brilliant.
I'm pissed, but well done.
At this point, the icicle has gone down to like toothpick size.
All right, it's time to do a little bit of adventuring.
Wait a minute, can't we just show them the lich head and get in? I mean, what the fuck? That's pretty much the most powerful thing we could ever have.
I mean, it is.
You could try.
Let's try.
Yeah, maybe the head could talk its way in, you know?
Right.
At this time of day, there's not as much of a hubbub outside the door. When last you came here, it was drinking hour. And so now there isn't much going on. But you do still see Trunk, that exceptionally large bouncer, who's just wearing like full plate mail that's obviously enchanted and carrying today, because he seems to have a different selection of weapons per day, this maul that's just strapped to his back. And as you approach, he says, "Hey, what's up?"
Hi. Listen, we don't have a lot of time to chat, but we're just show him the head. Just pull out the head. We got to get in there, man.
He says, "I can't let anybody but it's a members only club."
We know.
inside."
Very exclusive. Okay. Look, we've been through a lot and
Yeah.
we have this thing now. And it would be really great if you could just like appreciate what we've been through.
Right, we've done like 500 worth of piddly things on your board in the last, I don't know, week. And now we've got this. It's a lich head. Here, take a look.
Oh, God!
Yeah. Imagine
should
that
count
thing
for
yelling at you for
something.
2 days straight. It's a nightmare.
As you pull it out, his shock kind of wanes. And he says, "Wait a second. It's just a skull. It's just a skull in a bag. I got plenty of those." And you
now
look in
it's
the
not gonna
bag,
talk.
and the lich skull is just laying there, doing nothing.
It's not talking. Finally, it shut up now.
I don't.
This was a nice joke, but gonna need you to move it along.
I cast minor illusion on the skull and bring its like flamey eyeballs back to life. And
Roll a you cast with charisma because you're a bard.
yeah, and this is a cantrip.
Just roll a charisma contest.
Okay.
It's going to be contested by int.
Okay. Oh boy, that's a 10.
I rolled a 24.
Jesus.
You cast minor illusion, and the spell sputters out like inches away from the skull, swirls, and is consumed by the eyeballs on the skull, and nothing happens. And he says, "Look, people try to use magic and force all the time. Skull in a bag ain't gonna work."
Oh my god.
But it's been talking for the last 2 days straight. It's really in there. This thing is so evil. It's just, maybe it's asleep, you know? Maybe it finally wore itself out from never shutting up. Ah, you stupid skull.
Hey, big fella.
What would you like to do?
How would we have been able to show you that we got the Silver Shade Nightingale? Because it dissolved as soon as we went to get it.
You guys made it to the Silver Shade Nightingale?
Actually, we did.
And then we went to Carcerella Rock, and then we stopped in Assassin. Well, no, we stopped in Assassination. Then we went to Carcerella Rock. Then our friend died, and then we basically saved the world.
Yeah, no problem. Show me the flower, and you can walk right through the front door.
No, it dissolved. It vaporized.
Yeah.
That's why we have the skull.
Oh, okay, yeah, it dissolved. I also went and got the Silver Shade Nightingale, but it dissolved right before I brought it to the front door. Are you hearing yourself, bros?
Look, I'm soon to be a baroness. I am Beatrice Onan of the House Onan. I don't ever lie. Please just let us come in and look. We just need, like, I don't know, 15 minutes and then we'll leave.
Titles have no weight here.
Oh, really?
The whole point of this inn is that each of the adventurers on these leaderboards are self-made. Everything they've earned themselves. They weren't born with any of it. And those who were and thought they could hang usually died in their process of trying to get inside. So everyone in these doors fought their way through hell and back just so they could sidle up to the bar and order a pint.
Oh my God, the irony of all of this.
There's no way in then. And let's go. Let's walk away.
Sure. As you cinch up the bag and walk away, you hear from inside, suckers.
I yank the bag open.
Okay.
You dry, bald, toothless, clattery son of a bitch. You stay silent for the first time in 4 days, and now you choose you pipe up and have a little chuckle. Oh, cute. Really, really cute. That's great. I'm glad that the one thing you kept on your stupid skeleton is a sense of humor, because there's nothing else rattling around up there.
What was that?
Also lit
You can see
down there.
Trunks kind of like turned back around to watch you guys.
Aye, you stupid skull. You just sat there. That's why we put your ass underwater that whole time. We didn't want to hear all of your lollygagging and your jaw jabbering. So why don't you just stay shut up?
Yeah, true. In fact, yeah, you know what? Please stay quiet. We are begging you to stay quiet. We have heard so much of your nonsense for the last 4 days. Ooh, you can have all the riches of the kingdoms of the world. Ooh, I'm going to pull your insides out from your outsides. Ooh, if you do what I say, you'll have all the promises of everything. It's, you know what? It's tired. We are tired of you. So please keep your mouth shut.
In the midst of this, there is a flash of green flame that just curls inside the pouch. And the skull says, "It's easy for you to say that. Put me back on my body and I'll slap the shit out of you. If you hadn't sucker punched me when I was getting put back together, I'd be ruling this planet."
Oh,
And
big
Trunks
talk.
like, "Whoa,
big talk.
hey, what's all that about?"
And
And he says, Bring that giant over here. I'll show him what's what. I've got powers that can melt metal onto his flesh. I'm a monster." And Trunk actually does see the skull talking and goes, You could close the bag. You could close the bag real quick.
This bag? You want us to
Hey,
this one? This bag?
Hey. Yeah. So with that, he does actually cross to the front door of the Last Oak Inn and do a little knock. The door's opened. He whispers something inside. The door's closed. And then not long after, you do see someone walking out. They're wearing a dirty apron and wiping their hands with a bar towel. And they say, what is this person? It's a woman. And she says, what is this? What is this? What do you want from me? I'm working. I'm setting prep for tonight. You know tonight is busy night. Thursday is very busy night. We have lots of adventurers coming to drink. What is this problem? I'm busy. And Trunk gestures to the bag, and this woman walks over and says, "Yes, I help you. What you need?"
Well, you're looking at the 3 newest members of the Last Oak Inn. Eldritch Evil in a bag, lots of big adventures. I'm an attorney, no big deal, but we would love to gain entrance to your fabulous establishment and enjoy the company of all these other adventurers who are our peers, because we are them. We're heroic. We want our adventures. Yes.
Yes, I am manager on duty, unfortunately, until boss gets back. I must uphold rules of Last Oak Inn. Unless you complete any of leaderboard challenges, you are not allowed admittance. However, we cannot allow a lich head, which you have so conveniently brought to the middle of a very densely populated society full of innocent people, to be passed around in potato sack and used as joke to enter into our place. So if you follow me, I make exception. I help you, but you do not gain entrance to Last Oak Inn, unfortunately. If we gave entrance to every person who came here with Lich Head, we give too much.
How many are those? Like, can you count on more than one hand how this has happened?
I hyperbolize, but honestly, you would be not surprised by how much dangerous weapon people bring to front door and say, "This blow up world, please let me in." Happens all day, every day.
Quick question. Did someone happen to bring a god hammer, or I'm stuck on this, or a legendary weapon, like just happened to bring one in?
Sometimes, yes, high level venture come in with big weapon, but
Lost and found, maybe under the bar.
absolutely. Do you know what God Hammer is? You do not leave in Lost and Found.
It's worth looking. I found.
You should not ever obtain God Hammer. I do not think it is for you. Maybe like God tongue depressor for you, but not God Hammer.
Oh, please. Everyone's seen Indiana Jones. They know the most powerful cup looked like nothing. Sometimes stuff just hides.
Yes, indeed. This person introduces herself. She says that her name is Xandarian. She's a half elf. And she, during this conversation, has escorted you around to the back of the Last Oak Inn. You actually see those two elf women who you'd seen in the past that are covered in those tattoos and holding cool weapons. And she says, we have big bomb problem. And they go, yeah, another one of them, huh? And they open a door. They open the back door. And you enter into the Last Oak Inn, but you fail to revel in accomplishment. The plush furniture and warm light rushes past you all in a blur as Xandarian hurries you all to a small door in the back. The door is about 4 feet tall, and inside is a tight stairwell, which she scampers down. As you go down, you get the smell of rich earth and the spice of enchantments, actually, because when you come out into the holy orange light, you can see that this room is deep beneath the ground, ancient and powerful. It's a workshop. You can see that it's like, it facilitates several different kinds of magical work. So there's like a tinkerer's table, there's an enchantment table, there's lots of prisms and crystals and all kinds of vials of different kinds of liquids and oils and poisons. There's an alchemist station. Like, there just seems to be a lot of places here to do work. And in the center of it all, there is a massive orange gem that is about the size of a wagon. She says, all right, be very careful. And pulls over a brass cart and kind of like moves some crystals and shit off of it and sets it in front of the orange crystals. She says, you put skull on this pedestal and I will help you with spell.
Oh, great.
Unless, of course, any of you are high-level spellcaster.
No.
No, not really.
I just want to be clear. You have no plan. None of you are high-level spellcaster, and yet you bring Lich Skull to center of town where people sleep with their children.
Well, we were just really out of options, all right? We kind of panicked, and time is very short, and this I really feel like this is going to work. So in a way, we kind of do have a plan, right? The plan is just that this works, and it's awesome and everything's fine.
And you say, Xandaria, why you not let us in your house? I say because you're crazy people.
You're the one who's like holding us up while we're trying to expunge an evil spirit.
She is like quickly gathering supplies as she's talking shit to you.
Oh.
when she finishes, she's arranged several different items in place. And she says, I know type of spell which can contain spirit. I perform now, yes?
Aye.
Yes.
Okay. She starts to do a spell. She is in the midst of this ritual. She's casting, some spells can be cast as rituals and they just take a little bit of extra time, but you don't burn a slot. She's doing some kind of ritual with this skull, and it floats up off the table. It has not spoken during this. And you get the sense that perhaps she's done something to silence it.
I wish we could have.
The green flames start to flicker on its skull, but then they are quickly turned to orange. And you can start to see this like etch-a-sketch whir of a line that's almost just being torn through the fabric of this room. And it starts to trace out the outline of a spinal column at first, and then extend into ribs, and then arms. And it's about that time that she starts saying, shit, get devices away. And she starts grabbing the implements from the ritual and throwing them across the room. What do you guys do?
Grab the devices and throw them away.
Yeah. Clear
Fair.
the area.
I thought you might. I didn't want to speak for you. As you do, the spell starts to shut down and fizzle out. The flames revert to green and the skull clatters back onto the table. And she says, I cannot use this stone. I cannot use this stone. If this particular stone is used, it is tied directly to magic in Earth, yes? It is tied and links several of these places together, and it calls on several schools of magic. If this is what I think it is, this lich is using it to break system, create explosion of magic, and reform. We cannot use this crystal. It is tied directly to our plane, directly to our planet.
So
we would need something. How much time do we have? You said not much.
No, we're out of time.
When you hold up the little thing, it's now kind of like the size of a splinter. And she says, shit, we need something not connected to planet. We need something from, what is the word? From a rock, a crystal from...
The stars?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. God. All right, listen. Have you seen around here, like someone who looks like me, like a gnome, but really round, like the shape, like a circle, like volleyball kind of,
Her eyes narrow. She says, you know this creature?
Oh yeah, we're intimately acquainted. Is he here?
Yes.
Okay, where is he?
She walks you guys away from this makeshift altar around the orange crystal. And you can see in the back of the laboratory, there's several cages made of brass. The bars have obviously been enchanted. And huddled in one of them, there is a small round figure. She puts up a hand and says, you be careful. He is very, very dangerous.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Okay, sorry. You said he's behind. What is he behind?
She's just walked you. There's a section. What you're in is this like laboratory that's built around the perimeter of this giant crystal. You get the impression that it's a very resonant magical item, and therefore all of these stations that have been built up around it probably draw from that energy. And just like these stations on the back side of the room, if you go around the crystal, there's these cages that have been enchanted, and you think that their bars are too pulling from this energy to reinforce them.
Okay, got it. Okay, well, I march over to the bars and peer inside. Well.
Oh my God. Naomi?
Yeah, you better
and
believe
this
it, Buckaroo.
Will you explain to us? We've met Popo. We met Popo last time.
We did. He got but only in a dream.
Give us a description of Popo.
Popo and I go way back. We grew up in the same village. He's a little shorter than me. He's a lot rounder than me. He's probably about as wide as he is tall. He kind of waddles. He's kind of got little feet like muffins and little hands that stick out, kind of like the little Violet Beauregard kind of moment. But I don't know how long he's been in this cage, so maybe he's losing some of that round.
He does look tired, but no less plump.
Oh, good for
him. Popo says, Naomi, did you come to rescue me?
Absolutely not. No. You deserve every minute that you spend in this stupid cage. I am here. You know what I'm here for, all right? I've been tracking your sorry ass across hell and high water to get it back, and you are going to turn it over right now, or so help me, I will pull your spine out through your mouth.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my God. All right. I pull my dagger.
Hey, man.
Stick between the bars to his throat.
You wouldn't stick a defenseless little gnome in a cage, would you?
Try me, man. I'm a lawyer now. I have no morals.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. I'll tell you about that another time. It's actually awesome. I went to rat court. No. Okay. Listen. Look, I know you have it somewhere on your stupid little body. All right. Whatever sphincters you have to relax to give it back to me. All right. You better get right on that, my friend.
You just expect me to hand over the one piece of material that might get me out of this place?
Listen, my
dude. And then
dude,
rot in this cage?
Listen, if you don't hand it over, no one's rotting anywhere. The rotting and the being and every existence is done. We're donezo, all right? The clock has run out. I don't have time to screw around. Give me the marble.
He reaches into the front of his trousers and rustles around for a minute and then produces a large sapphire marble. And he says, is this what you're looking for?
Yes, Popo. That's what I'm looking for. No! No! I grab his wrist and yank it away from his mouth.
No! Yeah, you can do that. He's an idiot. Yeah, so you're holding his hand. He's not releasing the marble, but he says, Naomi, please, Naomi. I know I messed up. You have to get me out of here, though.
We'll talk, man. Okay, we can discuss the consequences of your actions after we save the world, all right? But not right now.
Okay. You are able to pluck the marble out of his hand. Why don't you tell us about it? You've been looking for this thing since session 1. Tell us about it.
Oh God. Okay. I don't know where this has been, so I'm going to clean it off a little bit. Just wipe the pants off of it a little bit. Oh my God. Okay. You guys, listen, this might do it. All right. I don't know. I know that this thing it's not from this earth. And I know that this makes me absolutely kick ass at marble games. All right. So I think we gotta give it a shot. All right. Now listen. I know it looks like a marble, right? But it's like the best one. It's like the best marble. It's the stellar agate, cobalt refined, antique shooting marble. Is the sarcasm. It's it's great. We'll get into it, but let's see if we can cram this guy in here right now.
I love your
okay.
Let's do it.
We got some bits to shout out here.
Oh dang.
Astrid, Kenzo, Puck, Gamer Shark, Hot Wife. Thank you so much. We appreciate
awesome.
it. You take the marble around. You take sarcasm, the marble. Give it to us one more time.
Stellar agate, cobalt refined, antique shooting marble.
Okay. Sarcasm, the wonderful blue marble, over to Zandaria and Zandarian, And she is quite shocked to see it. She says, I've heard of this before. Yes, sarcasm. This is from other world. This come here, part of set. Others used set into jewelry, weapons. But this, refined but raw. And she sets it on the altar. And she actually moves it away from the big orange crystal. And she starts to do a spell again. She says, I will not be able to use spell that I use for orange crystal. I am intimate with orange crystal. I have only heard of this marble. I can assist. But not only will you need to help with spell, we need to be ready, because in order to contain Lich, we must call forth Lich to this place. There is chance he will be whole before he is captured. Do you know how to do that?
No.
We got a shout out for Bits before we do. Steph, thank you. One of the things that Almi did tell you, which you won't need to roll for because she just hooked you up, is that you would need to kind of recast what brought him out the first time.
The different schools of magic.
Yes.
Okay.
He was called forth with illusion, conjuration, and whatever Eston did.
Ugh.
Some random magic.
All right. Well. Okay. Whatever like innate gnomish like spellcasting stuff Popo would have, that would also be illusion. Is that?
You have illusion magic.
No, I know.
You're the one. Yeah.
Yeah. But if
Popo's not. Popo can do like some weird stuff. I think we haven't really nailed down Popo's class. He's not necessarily a spellcaster.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you know? I asked her if she what her school of magic is.
She crosses her arms and says, "Alteration."
Great. Okay. I think we need one more. Is there anyone around here that you know of who could who's a conjurer or who's a something creepier, or we need like one more magic user?
We don't have time. And she points to the icicle and it's almost gone.
Oh god. Okay. Let's just try it with 2, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Naomi, what spell do you cast?
I guess does it matter? I guess let's do silent image actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, I want like kind of I would like a spectral Argus, a spectral memory of Argus.
Sure. What you do is you cast this spell and there is a projection for a moment and you see Argus in the moment that you were at the altar originally. I guess it was more of a plinth when you summoned the Lich, and you see him swirling magical water in the air. And then that projection collapses and is pulled through one of the eyes of the Lich's skull and out the other, and starts to wrap around Sarcasm the Marble. And you can see that the first part of this has gone.
Okay.
And Zendarian says, I must confess something. I am not Alteration Mage. I am Necromancer. I'm so sorry.
Everyone's a freaking necromancer, all right? It's like, it was cool 10 years ago and everyone was like, wow, so edgy. Now everyone's just a secret necromancer and they're ruining our plans, all right? Listen, as long as you don't do anything weird, we still can use you. If that's, we'll forgive you for lying. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. She holds out her hands. You've seen Eston do his thing. This is far less refined. She targets the skull. The skull passes the necessary save, but the spell still fires. All of you hear a bell ringing for just a moment, and it's like those sound waves collapse and are pulled through the eyelet of the skull and out again, and this sickly light is now swirling around. And you recall when Eston originally helped you guys, the light is the same. And he had cast this same spell, though a much more refined version of it. It's called Toll the Dead. And now that is spinning around it as well. But you are still missing the third part of this spell.
Ugh.
Just alteration.
Does anyone have any
no,
ideas?
it would have been conjuration. The way that Argus did it before is he used magical water.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any magic at all. Oh, my green flame blade isn't conjuration, is it? That'd be if it was Skyrim, it would be under. Wait, hold on. Would that be under? Because you conjure the flame. Fuck it. Let's try it. Unless anyone has a better choice for like a conjuration spell.
Wait, all we need is magical water. What about the icicle?
Oh, you're so.
Chris, how would you like to use the icicle? It is now a fine sliver of ice.
Well, what is your magic doing? Is it like shooting out in beams in an intersection? And then I can place the icicle on top of it. And make a trifecta. What's it doing?
Irritrin's green flame is evocation.
So not
that. But if you would like to use the icicle, I will give you the opportunity to try.
Yes.
How would you like to? I guess I'm looking more for like the flavor of how you go about this. What is your action that you are taking with this ice? You have a skull and a marble that's kind of rotating spells around it.
I think I would like to drop of the ice on top of the skull.
Okay. As you do, the final bit of ice melts and falls from your fingertips and splashes down onto the crown of this skull. A single drop goes over the forehead before it is sucked through the eyelet and spat out the other one and joins the spinning around the marble. Sarcasm itself does not explode, but the magic which has coalesced around it does. There is a flash as these three schools start pinging around the room. And the Lich, his skull erupts in green flames. And you can see that Sarcasm is beginning to vacuum them up. But as they are, these green flames, as you saw before with the orange crystal, are starting to etch-a-sketch out the skeleton around underneath. And as that skeleton forms, it starts to exaggerate until the Lich is now clawing, the altar's fallen over, and the Lich is crawling across the ground as his torso is forming in real time, and then his legs. Sarcasm has rolled away, but you can see that there's still a tether pulling green flames off. But then the Lich's body becomes far more corporeal, and you can see that it is a grotesque humanoid, just wreathed in green flames. There's one, the left arm it looks mutated in that it is far bigger than the body should support. And on top of it are these sharp spines of bone that are glowing green and rippling with flame. The other hand digs into the ground, and you see a gauntlet appear around the fist and then puff at the top before a green flaming sword shoots into the ground, and he starts using this monstrous arm and this flaming sword to just drag himself away from Sarcasm. And as his body forms and he gets pulled backwards with one big jerk from the marble, he kind of flattens on the ground, then reaches behind himself and cuts the tether with the green flame. You can see that the marble is still active, but the lich has managed to pause whatever the effect is that's been cast. He then stands and says, well, I know better than to monologue. Roll for initiative.
Oh God. Okay.
Did everybody refresh all of their stats?
A
Yes.
natural 20.
Oh hell yeah.
All right, Chris,
Doesn't
that's
do
pretty good.
shit, but it's okay.
21.
So 24 total.
Wow.
And
Eurotran?
14. Wait, 21, 24, 14. Okay. Those are my next lottery numbers.
Two. He rolls a 6 for initiative.
Let's kill him a lot.
So
I'm
he
gonna
will
play
be
the
going
Powerball
last.
with those.
So he's holding this gauntlet with a green flaming sword out. The way that I see his body is that you can tell that there is some kind of flesh underneath what has grown into exoskeleton, literally an exoskeleton that has formed not just a bone cage around him, but these plates of bone armor. And that second arm is just this massive arm that's dragging on the ground like a gorilla's, and it just has these huge spikes jutting out of it. And a crown of green flame floats above his head. It just kind of snaps into existence, and he says, I've been waiting a long time for this. It is your turn, Triss.
Would like to hide
Okay.
first. That's
You may use a bonus action to do so. There is plenty going on around here. Remember that you're in a magical workshop with a giant orange crystal in the center.
right. It's an 18.
Roll. How much?
18.
Okay, I don't think I'm gonna be able to see you. Yeah. I rolled a 12. So you are hidden.
All right, then I would like to pull out my bow,
Okay.
shoot him right in his fleshy something.
Okay. There are pieces and parts of him that are exposed flesh. The flesh looks like cold, dead, cankered, like not very appealing. But those are just
awesome.
in the creases of his armor, which is
Like-
made out of bone.
Like red and inflamed, like a white center, like a really gnarly cankersaur.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna hit it right like
this?
it's like a bullseye.
Yes. Triss, you're fucking crazy.
Oh, my-
And I get to roll with advantage, so hold on.
You do because you are hidden.
19.
19. He actually seems to be more focused on Irritran because Irritran cut his monologue short last time. 19 will hit.
All right.
Roll for damage and you get your sneak.
Yes. So that's 5 plus 6. That's 11.
Okay.
I
You're shooting your
explode
short
that
bow?
cankersaur. It's gotta hurt so bad.
Yeah, you see that the arrow pierces through the armor and he flinches. The arrow then catches fire. He is resistant to piercing that is non-magical, so he's only going to take 6 damage because it is rounded up. So you see that there is this kind of black ichor that's oozing out of the wound, but the arrow itself has lit in green flames and disintegrated. You are now visible, and it is Naomi's turn.
Okay. Let's find out if this thing can be blinded. Yes, I would like to cast color spray, please.
Okay.
What does it sound like when you spray him?
Yeah, what does it
it
sound
sound like?
like?
It sounds like you know when you like release a balloon and it flies around? It's like,
He can be blinded. He's got a lot of cool stuff, but doesn't say anything about being blinded. You color spray him, and he reels backwards. It seems like he's kind of harnessing power still, so he's slow to attack. Would you like to move?
Yeah, well, what I want to do is see if there's anything in this workshop that's like, a big vial of like evil looking stuff like that I could maybe just throw on him. Like,
Yeah, I think that
rich dissolving acid would be a good label to look for, or something similar.
sure. You move over to the alchemist table. I'm not going to make you roll for it, but you're not going to be able to find it until your turn.
Sure.
There's a bunch of shit on the shelves, so it's not that there isn't a thing, you're just having to find the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you blind him and then run over to the alchemist's table. Fucking Apple Music. Didn't even know it was on my computer. Okay, which brings us to Iratran.
Hi. Okay, so if I light my I don't have my short sword anymore. I only have
You
a
do
sword,
not.
a scimitar, and a hand axe. I can light both of them, but if I do my cantrip, that's an action, which means I can't attack.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna light my cantrip on my scimitar and my hand axe because he seems unaffected by other things. And
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Do you want to move?
I'm gonna try and move in yeah, I'm gonna hide. Ooh, I'm gonna learn from you, Triss. I'm hiding.
You won't be able to hide.
He's got pain.
Yeah, actually, you can. You can, because he is blinded right now. So you won't need to use an action to hide, because you'll just need to walk to a place that he can't see you walk to. So you will be hidden at the
All right.
top of your turn.
Cool.
Which brings us to the Lich. Okay, yeah, he's going to attack. You see him lift that giant arm into the air and cock it back. And when he flexes, spines leap out of it and fire off towards you. He's going to fire at where he thinks Iratran is. He's denied that 18, but he actually is going to be denied that crit that I just rolled. So he will be shooting with a 22 to hit Iratran. I think what he does is he just like shoots spines into the air, and one of them happens to hit Iratran on his way to cover. This is going to be doing just 1d4. Oh shit. They are flaming and green.
So am I.
So you're looking at 4 piercing damage and 4 fire damage from the necrotic fire that is on the spine. He fires another one at where he hopes Naomi is. That's not but he only rolls a 10. So Naomi, one of these green spines flies over the back of your head and smashes into one of the bottles that's on the shelf you're looking for. Which he's not going to move. He's just lumbering around, swinging his arms, still blind. He will be blind until the end of Naomi's turn, and it is Triss's turn.
Okay, well, that big old arm, is there like a fleshy part that looks like I could sever it?
I think so. There's no great mechanics in D&D 5e to be able to target specific areas of a creature, but I like it enough that if you can bloody him, which might take another turn, bloodying a creature is taking them down to half health. If you can bloody him, I will allow you to then sever one of his limbs.
All right.
But he is not
Distracted.
currently bloody.
But
So
he's
your
distracted.
to just be clear, your attack did damage.
Right,
He's just resistant to it, not immune, so it did less damage.
right. But my rapier does way more damage than my bows. So
Sure. And he is blind, so you will be attacking at advantage without needing to hide, which means you will get sneak.
I will get sneak, and I get to
Anytime you
attack.
attack with advantage, you get sneak. There's several other stuff that can trigger it as well, but the pair up between Naomi's color spray and your attack is one of those great moments of synergy between the two classes.
Right. Well, I would like to go for the other fleshy canker area on his arm and try to whack it off.
Okay. Roll to attack with advantage.
Ooh. Either a 25. It's a 25.
Okay, that will hit. Roll for damage.
Right. 8 plus... So that's a 10. Oof. Oh, is it?
He's going to cut that in half, which will bloody him.
Woo!
And you see that you deal serious damage to the arm, so that when he's preparing to shoot another volley of spikes, the arm goes limp. It does not get severed, but you can tell that it's just like you've cut almost all the way through it. And the arm is now dragging behind him uselessly as he's waving his blade around in the air. Naomi.
Okay. So, on a scale of 1 to Lich dissolving acid, one of what's available to me in the alchemist corner.
You see, I'll give you a choice. You see, they'll all be big glass flasks. One that is what looks like a carbonated red, one that is a glowing white, and a third that is black and very thick.
Ooh. Okay. Let's go fizzy red.
Okay.
See what happens. I'm just gonna,
roll
I'm gonna chuck
to
it right at
attack.
this dude.
It'll be with your dexterity, and it'll just be your whatever you use to attack with the boomerang. So just roll for boomerang.
Okay, sure. Okay. Not my favorite. Hang on, boomerang. So 12.
That is not going to do it.
Oof.
Roll a d12 for me, please.
Okay. 7.
Okay. The flask passes over the lich and smashes onto the ground. The moment it does, the liquid inside starts to burn with a smokeless chemical fire. Anyone who starts their turn in that, what did you roll on the d12?
7.
Will take 7 damage. But currently, it is just a puddle of fire in your arena.
Okay.
Which brings us to Iratran. You're muted.
How close is he? Is he like right next to that puddle of fire?
This is an intimate space, so everybody's within 5 to 10 feet of everything down here.
Yo, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and hack at him with my hand axe first, switching it up.
Okay, roll it.
A crit failure. Wow.
He is no longer blind, so you don't get a roll with advantage. You miss, and your hand axe slips out of your hand. Just kidding. You're not going to drop every weapon every time you crit fail.
I mean, this one's like, I remember throwing it at that one, like, not the freaking caterpillar, but like in Harskarn, and it blew up a tree. And I'm like, see, I wish I had that hit the guy.
No, I think what happens is for the crit fail, what you do is you lunge in a way that repositions you, putting you between the fire and the lich now.
Oh, smart.
You're not in the fire, but that repositioning has put you in a place where you could easily be pushed in. I believe you have a second attack if you'd like to take it.
I do want to take it. I'm going for his leg, scimitar style.
Slash it up.
Oh, hell yeah, that's a 24. Thank you.
Nice.
Boom,
That
boom.
will hit. Roll for damage.
All right, get the die out of the face. Ugh. 6. Wait, wasn't I hidden? No, I wasn't hidden because he hit me. Never mind. All right, 6.
Okay. That is going to be resisted. That's with your green flame blade?
Yeah.
Okay. That is going to be resisted, but he does take 3 damage. And you guys have started hacking off pieces of his bone armor now, so more of that flesh is exposed.
Okay. Does he take any of the damage from the green flame blade?
He
Because it would be fire damage, or
it
since
counts as fire, right?
yeah,
He is resistant to fire.
yeah, that's real inconvenient.
Oh,
But-
I'm sorry. He takes 2 damage because he is immune to fire. I read that wrong.
well, fortunately, I used that, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my action surge and go one.
Okay.
Scimitar.
Swing it.
Another crit fail.
No! Oh god!
All those 20s last week.
Uh,
20s last week, and then I get 3 1s today.
He catches
Dude.
your blade on his punch sword and then says, well, that was easy. And he just takes 1 step towards you, and you take 1 step back into a puddle of magical fire. And you will take 7 fire damage.
All right, that puts me at 9. Good time.
Okay. After Iratran, it is the Lich's turn. He is no longer blind, and Iratran is in fire, so he's just going to let go and try to punch you with his sword. That is not great, Iratran. So, that's only going to be an 11, which I do not think is going to do it.
No.
He then turns around and stomps his limp arm, shooting a spine up out of it towards Triss. And that one's going to be for 12.
12 damage.
No, sorry, 12 to hit.
Oh.
Oh god.
My armor class
Does
is
not.
15.
Yeah, so you can see that he kind of like whoopee cushioned his own arm to shoot a spine out of it, but the spine misses Triss and sticks into the ceiling. The green fire on these things does not seem to be consuming wood or burning anything. And Triss, from your experience of holding onto the skull when it was lit, it seems to be some kind of necrotic fire that affects people in ways that are not necessarily flesh wounds.
How's that new body working out for you?
It's only half formed, so I'll ask you to give me a fucking break while I get used to it. I've been frozen in a waterfall for hundreds of years.
Right. Am I able to hide with that
You
big
are, it is your turn.
fiery thing in the middle? Alright. I'd like to hide if I can. Ooh, 11.
That is not going to be good enough.
Alright, that was my bonus
His
action.
passive perception is 12.
Well then, I would like to whack at his arm a little bit more to try to get it actually fully gone.
Okay, cool. Here's how sneak attack works too. You will not be rolling with advantage, but because he is engaged with Iratran, you will be able to get sneak attack if you hit.
Right,
So roll to attack.
20.
That will work. Roll for damage.
Girl.
Ooh, alright. 14.
Whoa.
Yeah, she's doing it all by
Please tell me I whacked his armor. Please tell me it's gone.
You do cut his arm off.
Ugh.
He halves your damage, so he only takes 7. But he is not looking good. And in fact, the wound that you've inflicted on that arm, the large arm that you've cut off, is just spraying black ichor. And what you can tell is that it's rotted blood.
Yeah.
Gross.
And his armor is starting to peel off in these long strips of bone, like a tree that's shedding bark. And he's now wheeling around and spraying this rotting blood all over.
Ew, ew. You
Oh,
should've
gross, gross.
Gone peacefully. So
It is Naomi's turn.
Okay. Oh boy. God, I only have 1 spell slot left. I want him to be blind again, but oh no, is that true? Yeah, no, that is true. Okay. Yeah, let's blind him again, please.
Okay. You blind him.
Okay, great. And
He
yeah.
screams in pain, and as he does so, he shuffles around and ends up tripping over the arm that Triss cut off, kicking it closer to Sarcasm, the blue marble. Sarcasm jumps and spits a little bit, and then the arm is very quickly disintegrated into like a very fine glowing green dust that's the same color of the flames and sucked into the marble. And as it passes out of this plane and into this kind of pocket dimension you've created, the Lich screams even louder now and stomps around blind. Would you like to move, Naomi?
Yeah, so did it seem like that was a proximity situation? Like the arm was close enough to the marble that it kind of like magnetized it into itself?
It seemed to be more of a like damage situation.
Okay. Okay. Well, I I think I just want to try and throw another bottle at him, but I don't think I can.
You can't.
Okay.
But you can cross to the thing and scoop one up. You have a bottle of thick black liquid or a bottle of glowing milk.
Yeah, probably the glowing milk. I think
Okay.
is the way
You
to
have
go.
it in your hand for the next turn.
Okay, cool. It does a body good.
Iratran, it is your turn.
Oh, well, I no longer, I still have my scimitar. Okay. And I'm on fire. So I'm going to go ahead and swing from my, from the fiery position, get out of that and attack him with the scimitar.
Sure. The way that we're going to handle fire damage like this, which will be area, is that you take damage when you enter into it for the first time, and you will take damage again if you end your turn in it. So stepping out will free you from the fire.
Yeah, I'm fully stepping out and I'm carving them up with an 18 on my scimitar. Finally.
Roll again just to see if you crit. You're at advantage because he's blind.
Yes! Give it to me! or a 17, that's close enough, I guess.
18 will do. Roll damage.
All right. No more fire damage for him. He's just getting a 7 from regular scimitar.
Okay, that is going to be cut down to a 4. He is not looking great. You cleave him a mighty blow, peeling off the entire chest plate, which falls onto the ground. And you can see that it and all of the strips of his bone armor are being sucked back after they're disintegrated into Sarcasm, which is just jumping and spitting on the ground as it's absorbing parts of this lich. Which brings us to the top of the order.
Okay,
Oh, no, wait.
Hand
That was Iratran's turn? Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Fucking fighters.
I know. I already used my action surge, though, but I felt good about that. Hand axe! Except for the fact that crit fail. 9. Ugh. This hand axe is shit.
You are not going to be able to hit with a 9. You miss. The first blow is mighty, but the second one in your celebration is a little wide. After Iratran, it is the Lich.
Wait. Oh, wait. He's blind. I have an advantage on my hand axe.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Yes! Give it to me! Fuck you. 6.
That's not going to hit.
Oh no!
The Lich is
Yikes.
blind, but he's going to just strike out and try and hit Iratran, who is just attacking him, with his sword. The first one is a 13, so I ain't gonna get it. The second one is a 6. He misses. He does have a multi-attack, though, so he's going to swing again. He actually lunges at you, Iratran, after missing with his sword. And you can see the hinge on the jaw of his skull open probably 3 times as wide as it should. And he lunges at you, trying to put your head in his mouth.
Wow.
The first one's a 19, but the second one is a 4. He chomps the air in a blind rage, and Iratran is able to duck out of the way. Which brings us back to Triss.
I would like to yeet his other arm.
Okay. Roll it. You are at advantage because he is blind.
Right, a 25 or
Oh, that's fantastic.
or a 24. 25.
That's going to hit. Roll damage. With sneak.
Dice could move. There we go.
Oh god.
9.
You cut the other arm off, and it flips through the air actually and sticks into the ground on the big red flame or the big green flaming sword before it too burns into a green dust and is absorbed into the marble. And the marble is now jumping all over the place and sputtering and spinning and shooting little spells out. The Lich falls face down and is then dragged backwards. And without his arms there to be able to claw his way out like he did before, his legs start to disintegrate and burn, and then his torso, until there's just a skull rolling on the ground back towards Sarcasm. It lands face up and says, I put so much time and effort and planning into this. I tricked all of you and fed Argus that stupid fucking vision in the Duskwell. I brought all of you together. Your friendship is because of me. Everything I've done has resulted in this moment. And yet, here I am, because some stupid, foppish necromancer couldn't melt an icicle fast enough. Naomi, you are standing over him holding a glowing jar of milk.
Uh-huh.
Would you like to do anything?
Yeah, I want to pour it over him and say, good for the teeth and bones, motherfucker.
This is going to be radiant acid, which he is not immune or resistant to. The radiant milk burns him down into a puddle, which is then quickly absorbed into Sarcasm. You hear him screaming, "Ah!" into the marble. It goes inert immediately and drops down into the dust.
Oh my god.
That was a hell of a fight.
I pick it up immediately and examine it. Does it just look? It just looks like it did before. It just looks like a marble.
It's exactly the same, except you can see inside a little flaming green skull. And if you hold it close to your ear, you can hear, "You motherfuckers, I'm gonna get out of this marble and I'm gonna kill you so fast. I'm gonna turn your bones into my bones and I'm gonna pick my teeth with them."
I turn to my companions and say, you guys, he big mad.
Yes.
Awesome.
You see, standing up from behind the Tinkerer station, Zandaria, and she's saying, "Yes, excellent. I was just about to throw us. I was rearing to get into the fight. I just really needed it to warm up. It's been a minute since I used all my spell slots on the. You understand? I was this close to jumping in."
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You know, for an adventurers club, you know, you had to take off your apron and, you know, relax, do your Pilates first. I get it.
This should definitely get us a lifetime membership.
Before we decide on that, we got a Bits shout out.
Ooh.
Kenzo, Astrid, and Puck threw 1,000 at us. Thank you so
you.
much, everybody.
Merci.
And Gamer
Yeah.
Shark just got in on the action.
All them bits.
All right, Zandaria approaches you. When you say that it should get you a lifetime membership, she actually raises her hand in front of her as though she's taking a pledge. And when she does, you can see an ethereal green pendant become visible around her neck. Different kind of green than the flames on the Lich. And it has the same symbol as the last oaks in Sigil, essentially, on the pendant. And she says, "With my own eyes, I have seen your heroism. You are always welcome in by our hearth. On the shelter freely offer for your bones and pints of honor shall flow in your names." And she nods to her hand and the gesture she's making kind of expectantly.
Yes, yeah.
As soon as you guys put that up, there's like a flash of recognition in the pendant and her eyes. And when you look down, you can see that you too are wearing these pendants with the Last Oak Inn symbol on them.
Oh.
Awesome.
And she says, now, in future, when you capture big scary monster, perhaps leave outside town, come in for help. We go to safe place to destroy. Yes?
Well, if that be the case, we might have to talk about your open door policy. Because here we were, knocking, trying our best to do this. And we were met with let's say, less than favorable warmth.
We got a quick bit shout out. Valar, Merkworky, Gamershark, thank you so much. She says there is no open door policy for Last Oak Inn. Last Oak Inn is reserved only for those who are heroic and noteworthy and have fought through trials and tribulations to earn their place inside.
And yet you see now that that's a problem because we've done all the trials and tribulations. We tried to get, let's not beat a dead horse.
We are a small inn in bad part of town. You go to Wizard's Tower, you go to Urtacoa, you go to Duchess. There's other people in this place. We are private club. We not ask for this.
I'm sorry, I didn't. It's been a stressful few weeks, okay?
Yes, I understand. You fight Lich in basement of bar. I get it. It's why I give you pendant. It's very good. I am lead bartender at this place. They listen to me. I give you pass, they take pass.
Speaking of which,
Lich.
is anyone else parched? Just me? That took a lot out of me. I would love a celebratory, free hero pint for saving the world kind of thing. Is that what's the policy on that?
Yes. I go upstairs, you go around to front door, I meet you inside, yes?
Oh, great. Wow, front door. Look at us, guys.
She goes upstairs and exits out, and you know the way to get back up and around to the front door. And when you do, Trunk says, yeah, so, everything cool?
I raise my hand and show my fucking badge.
My dude. And,
oh, yeah, this. Huh?
All right, my dudes. Trunk goes back to the door and slaps it open. And inside, you can see... It's just like... to me, it evokes the spirit of, like, Camp Nowhere. When they totally... You guys know what I'm talking about? That movie from the 90s with Christopher Lloyd where, like, those kids take over the summer camp and turn it into, like, the dopest fucking place on Earth?
Yeah, because there were no adults,
That
right?
sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's just, like, this huge
like
bar.
Pleasure Island.
Up behind there, you can see that they're probably using the alchemist station downstairs to make, like, any number of, like, glowing, glittering cocktails. There's not just like regular tables and chairs. There's just like these fine old wood, sturdy tables, a bunch of puffy chairs, a huge fireplace. There's chandeliers, and on the wall, there's mounted like the heads of different monsters that have been slain with plaques underneath and the names of the adventuring parties that brought them in. There's trophies everywhere. Everyone inside is just carrying like glowing weapons and cool armor. They're all obviously like level 14 and 15 adventurers. So when you guys roll in like rotten lich blood and a hat, they're like, who are these guys? But as soon as they see your pendant, they're like, fuck yeah, newcomers! And there's like this huge thing, and there's lots of singing and like catcalling. And Xandari is actually standing behind the bar and like waves you over to the bar. You're getting like a lot of pats on the back on your way over. There's just like, like shuffleboard and like cool stuff. It's just like there's a stage in back where there's you can see, Naomi, that there's like several different bards from several different guilds kind of forming a super group of musicians.
Oh my
they're
god,
just
we are the
shredding.
world. Let's go, everybody.
And when you get over to the bar, Zandaria's standing there over. She's just pulling this like really fat fucking ledger up, and she slaps it down on the table, and she opens it, and she pulls a quill and licks it, and she says, "All right, now that you're officially members of the guild, or of the Last Oak Inn, it's time to record your membership and add your name to the leaderboard. What do you call your party?"
Well, we were workshopping this, so
we've been a little focused to talk about, naming and whatnot.
oh god.
Well, we were the greased up gnomes, but I don't feel like that works now because we lost the member.
It's true.
Yes.
What about nuts?
Just the word nuts, maybe spelled with a Z at the end.
I love it.
And a G in the beginning.
Okay. She says.
Oh, the nut. Never mind. No, too much.
Yeah. Yes.
The nut busters, but with a G.
Nutbusters.
She says most of these
Nutbusters.
names are play on words, so this fits. It's quite crass, but I see that it is
These
something
nuts.
you like.
It had to be these nuts.
He just writes GNUTZ.
Okay.
Okay, it's a little 90s, but I'll take it.
Nuts.
And then she goes to the front of the page and writes D's in front of nuts. And then she goes over to a leaderboard, which is behind the bar, and very large, erases the question marks that would be next to like the Silvershade Nightingale quest and writes reluctantly, D's nuts.
So stupid.
Nuts are in your bar now.
She brings you all drinks after she does this. She just pours you these massive tankards of ale, and you can see inside there's actually like evidence of some herbs and like a magical kind of glitter. It just looks like a very, very expensive brew. And she raises a glass and then kind of looks to you guys expectantly.
I don't mean to be rude. Do you happen to have any rotten lemons?
She reaches down below the well and pulls a handful of like yesterday's lemons out and sets them down. And she says, I'll leave you to this, but congratulations. And she takes a drink in your honor and walks away. I will turn it over to you, Irtrin.
I'm not good with words, but I started this out with a blade in my belly and nowhere to turn. I can't imagine a better group of people to have made this trip with. And though I lost my first friend, I'm glad to have made these two. So cheers.
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 Yeah.
As you all
Bottoms up.
toast each other, I think that the camera pulls back and pans through the Last Oak Inn, which is now starting to pop off. There's adventurers seated at every table, and as you look around, taking in your new surroundings, several of them raise a glass to you and nod. Zandaria keeps the drinks coming, and the camera continues to pan back. And we see the door swing open as Trunk lets in another group of adventurers who are obviously members. The camera passes through the door outside, where we see a group of 4 rapscallions trying desperately to get into this inn, which you have now successfully done. And right before the door swings closed, I think we see all of you with just drinks in your hand. a little happy, a little tired, but ultimately victorious. Because you've done it. You've won. You're all heroes, and you're all part of the in crowd.
Ah!
Well, congratulations, ding dongs. I really tried to kill you all, but I guess I failed.
Ah.
And you all leveled up to level 3.
Yo, what? Oh my god.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Oh my
Finally.
god.
Well,
In
met.
5th edition,
done.
3rd level is where your class starts to get some cool stuff.
Ooh.
Great. I'm over this 13 HP bullshit.
Got a bit shout out for Steph and Kenzo Lee. Thank you.
Yes.
Yay.
Wow.
For the bits.
Well, that's going to be a wrap on season 1 of the In Crowd. Thanks for joining us. But the fun doesn't end here. We got a bunch of cool stuff because the In Crowd is just getting warmed up. There's all the juicy social media below, so hit all the follow buttons. Check us out on TikTok, Twitter, you name it, we're there. All of our videos are available on Twitch or our YouTube channel. You can get to those down below. And come back every Thursday for our newest show, Lady Death Squad. Before we go, let's just take a moment to meet all of you, our players. Why don't you just introduce yourselves? Tell the people where they can find any of your work or see you anytime soon if they want to keep up with your exploits. We're going to start with Naomi, the gnome.
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name's Allie Menzimer. I live in Portland. I don't know. You can find me oversharing on Twitter at S01E10, CESTUNEPIPE, and on Instagram at OPennyGreen. And I am. If you're in Portland, we're doing some outdoor live theater this summer. So hit me up and I'll give you more details. Oh, and hey, I'm a puppeteer also. And next weekend, through the puppet company Sea Beast, is an event called Puppet Meltdown, which is a puppet version of the film Aliens. And that is streaming on the 19th. So if you're interested in puppets and cult 80s movies, this is the thing for you. So come check it out. It's been great.
Tris.
Hello, my name is Lisa Coronado. You can find me on Twitch. I stream under the name Hey Smalls, Smalls with a Z. I stream a lot of horror games and a lot of open adventure games, and soon to maybe be doing some cooking streams. Kind of like figuring that out logistically. I'm also an actress. You can find me on Netflix on a show called Z Nation. I play Dr. Murch on Showtime on a show called Twin Peaks. And at the Fantasy Network, we've got a series called Strowlers. I play a character called Pepper Jones, who has a little bit of magic. And then on Instagram and Twitter, I don't even remember my handles. I think they're at Lisa Coronado. Yeah, you can find me there.
Iratran.
Hi, David Green here. You can find me on Instagram, doc_awesome, DOC_AWESUM, right? I'm in a band, so like we're gonna start playing again shortly now that things are open up. We're in the stars. I'm the bassist, so if y'all want to rock out with us, catch us. We have a song that just came out called Desperados, and we have another one coming out soon. So yeah.
And I'm Jesse Keeter. You can find me at Twitter at Jesse_Keeter. You can also check out some really weird films that I made on YouTube. Just check out the YouTube channel El Good Times, EL Good Times. They're pretty rad. That's it from me. But what about Kenzo, right? Our player who died, you might ask?
What about Kenzo?
You can see for yourself, suckers. It just so happens it's that dude's birthday. So let's raid him.
Yeah.
Because I think he's on Twitch right now. Stick around for the raid. Spam some florb. We're going to go raid Kenzo, a.k.a. Argus. R.I.P. And until next time, I'm Jesse Keeter, asking, "Are you in?" Bye, everybody. I miss you already.
Man, what a good time.
It's happening.
Raid! Raid now!
Raid, fucking raid!
Oh my god.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what happened? What does this mean?
Are we visible?
As long as he ended stream, we're good.
Hey, it's Kenzo.
You do.